episode is sponsored by Outdoor Strength Systems. Outdoor Strength Systems is responsible for helping hundreds of people get strong, understand how to move properly, and why they should be moving that way.
Outdoor also understands the power of music when it comes to training. They aim to pioneer and bring together a larger community of people, not only sharing the experience of raving, but lifting properly as well. If you're interested in learning how to move in the gym a little bit better,
Compete in powerlifting or wear the latest rave-inspired merchandise, head to outdoorstrengthsystem.com and inquire with one of their coaches today. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of The Scene Up and Over.
up and over.
Brought to you by TOZA and
VUKZ.
And
VUKZ.
when I say and, you say
VUKZ.
and.
VUKZ. That's a good one. We should start that chant from now. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Anything for you, my brother. All right, so back again with another guest. Special guest.
Special guest. This one I think I'm really excited for because it's someone who I've been listening to a very long time. Someone who's been part of this scene, part of especially the raw scene since the beginning, and now finally getting his credit recently at Defqon on the Legend set. And yeah, Guns for Hire, one half of Guns for Hire, an awesome guy, one of the legends in the scene, and a guy who's still doing it to this day. Sorry. So yeah,
Don't be nervous.
yeah, I'm shaking a little bit. Please welcome Adaro.
Hi guys,
How are you?
man?
thanks for the nice words.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. Honestly,
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I think since Mo or Toza told me, he's like, "Oh, Adaro is supporting my music." I'm like, "Dude, Adaro is a legend. He's a king, man." So for him to give credit to music somewhere else, especially on our side, we really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. I
100%.
really like the music. I told him a lot of times. I started with the Heroin remix, and funny thing, we were in the car together from the Classics party.
Reactivate.
In Tilburg to Amsterdam, the Rebellion exclusive.
Yeah.
And we started talking. I said, "Hey, send some music," and he sent that Heroin remix. And I start playing it,
Yeah, now it's on during all your sets.
Yeah,
but it's
always play it.
Yeah, it was funny. He was telling me that. I was like, "Hey, I'm in the car driving to exclusive with Adaro." I was like, "Oh my gosh, man! The people you run into here, especially
man.
going to another party."
Yeah. So the whole story of how we met properly was because I've met you before. I've taken photos with you in Australia, just as a fan and stuff and everything. So when we went,
I thought I recognized your face.
So when we went to Reactivate, I went there with Tim, System Insanity, and then I was stressing out on how I was gonna have to leave early so I can catch a train all the way to Amsterdam to get to Alphas to get to the party. So I really didn't want to leave early because obviously it's a sick party. I didn't want to leave just yet, but I also needed to make it there on time. So Tim introduced me to Adaro, and he's just said "Hey, Tice might be able to take you. It's fine. I'll fix your lift, everything." I was sick. That's how we met, and then we were just in the car together for an hour, just talking and vibing about music and how the scene is and all this stuff. And
with my drunk buddy.
Yeah, I was literally about to mention with your drunk buddy about some really, really, really nice stories.
Not for the podcast.
Yeah, not for the podcast. We'll keep those stories for us. But basically, it was just a really, really good drive, just laughing and just mingling a little bit.
Yeah. No, I've noticed with you as well because the first time I met you was at Knockout. I'm not too sure if you remember. I was backstage.
Which year?
Last year for the Knockout Outdoor Festival.
Every time in Australia I have a jet lag. Eh?
Yeah,
I don't really remember, but refresh me.
So
it's the big festival with the
Yeah,
stage.
of course I know Knockout.
So
but
last year you came to the side stage just before your set on the outdoor, the pit stage.
Yeah.
And you were standing there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Adaro!"
Oh no, my father you also saw, right?
Yeah. And then I said
remember.
hello to you, and then one thing that I was really surprised by. You said, it's great to see a big festival in Australia again. You said, how was politics in terms of like the government down here.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised because you look into Australia, how the music industry works down
but
here.
you
as
know,
well.
we as artists, we know what happened with when something happens on a party and what the newspapers do. You know, so we all know like, hey, it's fragile. You
Yeah.
know, it can be really big and can stop because the government says stop. For example, we all know the King's Cross in Sydney. And everybody went there always, and then suddenly the city government said, "Hey, party time is over," and now it's nothing on that
Nothing's
side.
there,
Yeah. But for someone like you, you are a legend now. You are in Q-Dance's eyes and everyone's. But for someone like yourself to think and think about our scene down here, it's really cool. Like that's one thing I always.
Yeah, you know, the more hardstyle scene worldwide there is, the better. So yeah.
Specifically,
And
right.
Australia is a really big scene. You know.
Yeah, big. Too big.
Yeah, it's getting
far
there.
away.
It's getting there. I feel like we could be doing much better, in my opinion. But we're very grateful with what we have at the moment. You know, we have like 4 or 5 major big festivals and like single stage. We've got one of the biggest festivals in the world now, Knockout. And yeah, just constantly getting like really good acts that we probably won't ever see in smaller events, but we see at bigger events, which is really, really good. We're really appreciative of that.
Cool.
Okay, so we usually kick off the episodes with one segment, which is a question asked by Philip VUKZ.
Yeah.
So take us to the question, VUKZ.
Yeah. So if you could remove one thing from the hardstyle scene, what would it be?
The hey ho thing.
Yeah, hey ho, that's it. Go on.
Of course I understand it brings party and everything, but for me it's better if it's a bit more serious, you know.
Yeah, all right, done. Get rid of the hey ho's. I'm with you on that one. I agree.
Yeah, 100%. You know what's funny? Actually, I haven't heard the hey ho in a very long time.
Yeah, hey ho, I haven't heard it here, but in Australia we get a lot of fuck yeah.
And it's not so much in Holland, I think, but I hear it a lot in Germany, Austria, and
all the other countries, everywhere outside of. But
In Australia, we all have a lot like the Aussie.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, you like that?
I
one?
like that.
But what about the fuck yeah?
I also like it.
That's pretty much-
I saw a comedy series, what's it called? Righteous Gemstones on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And the Fuck Yeah track, the hardstyle track was in there.
Oh yeah,
in a Hollywood series.
It's a tone
Yeah.
shift as
In a
well.
Hollywood series.
In a Hollywood series. Super cool. I was watching like, whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's cool when you see hardstyle. I remember watching a movie and it had I'm pretty sure like Looney Tunes in there, one of their hardstyle tracks. I was like, what the hell? It's cool to see it in Hollywood.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we usually start these podcasts, we're usually going about how Adaro started, your early life and stuff. But I wanted to ask you about this. You started trance before you were a hardstyle DJ, weren't you?
I really like every style.
Yeah.
And I still do, and if I had more time, I would still produce every genre, but I have limited time and only time now for Adaro and with Guns, with Randy Guns.
Yeah.
So not more time, but I really like everything. So when I grew up, I was full hardcore fan.
Oh, really?
Really like Gabber music. That's my youth. And a few years after that, you know, when you are 15, 16, you only, that's your thing and the rest doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I even remember when, funny thing, my father said, hey, Michael Jackson is performing in Amsterdam. I have tickets. You want to go? And I said, no, I'm not coming because Buzzfuzz is playing in a small club. So that was more important to me than Michael Jackson. And now I'm thinking like, whoa, I could have seen Michael Jackson, but I didn't do it. But at that time, really, it was full conviction to me, like, I want to go to the hardcore club, you know?
Oh my God. So do you still love it? You still love your hardcore?
I still love hardcore, of course. Yeah. And after that, my taste went broader from trance to house to everything. And still,
So when did you start producing music then?
I think that was around when I was 15, 16, I think 95, 96.
Wow.
Damn, before I was born.
Yeah.
And was nothing serious, just a cheap program, sample-based, couldn't do a lot, but I learned the basics, and then a lot of stuff. If you want to do it professional, you had to buy hardware at that time. There were no plugins yet.
No plugins yet.
So I had to ask my father, "Hey, will you lend me some money?" And he lent me 10,000 guilders. At that time, that was before the euro. It was same as now, 10,000 euro. And I could then buy my first serious equipment. And a friend of mine did the same. And we met some other people, and we started. We made for fun a trance track, and that became worldwide big, and we could pay back our fathers.
Oh, well,
that's sick.
Yeah, because when we were trying to do some stuff for Hardstyle Australia at HSU, one of my questions was going to be if he remembers like his trance days and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool to see the influence, especially like hardcore and trance. And you still see it in your music these days, like Guns for Hire, definitely with the hardcore and stuff.
Yeah.
But your music, it's so melodic and so rough. You can still see trance as well.
Yeah, I think it's my positive thing, but also not negative. But I don't have one style, you know.
Yeah.
And also in the hardstyle, I like it all. When I play TNT tracks, but also TOZA, you know. It's really from left to right, and I like variety. And maybe commercially seen, it could be smarter to go for one thing, but you know, you do what your heart tells you, and I like it all, so I play it all.
Definitely,
it's really good, man. And look, having that much diversity in your sets brings something for everyone, and not just that, you also like you're one of the biggest names in the scene, and you're supporting like everyone, bigger and smaller, which is really, really great.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck who produce it. If it's good, I play it.
That's it.
Yeah, it's good. Like you see, like a lot of your back-to-backs, you just had a back-to-back at Decibel with
Invicta. Yeah. That was one of the coolest back-to-backs I've seen.
So fun as well, and for someone who's so young coming up in Invicta like himself to be, back-to-back with yourself, it's really cool to see because
he's a great talent. He's also in our Rough Recruits label.
Yeah, Rough Style.
I did a collab with him. I think he's a great talent, good guy, and if the back-to-back, if I think like, hey, that can be interesting, I will do it. You know, I played almost back-to-back with everyone already, so I'll hardly say no. Especially when I know like, hey, I cannot. Yeah, you know, I don't want it to be like, oh, he plays a track and then Adaro makes it fall back or something. You know, that's not. Then the set is not nice. But most of the time, with these back-to-backs, the promoters knows the right time to put it. You know. Yeah,
because you have to complement each other. Yeah, like in a way, like your
and
music
I can
has
adapt.
to fit.
With Invector, I know what he's gonna play. Mainly own stuff, hard stuff. Then I'll skip my too soft shit, you know. And then I'll go a little bit harder.
Yeah, nice.
It worked out well.
It was really good, man. From the start to finish, we were there the whole set. It was really, really nice.
Oh, cool.
And even your after party set too, it was really cool, man. Like we got there, like by the time we walked all the way from the back, went and quickly changed some clothes and stuff, and we were there for more than half of your set. It was really, really good.
Thanks. Yeah, and that party, you know, the volume couldn't be high. Yeah. Because of complaining.
Unfortunately,
noise restrictions.
Yeah. And then I thought, like, hey, if the volume is not high and you have to get some atmosphere, why should I then play all these hard tracks? I'm gonna play
a bit more vocal stuff,
vocals, melodies, and that. Kicked out good, I think.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good.
It was a fun after party.
It was a nice vibe.
Yeah.
Took a lot of energy out of me, but Decibel, that was a big weekend, especially for you guys. You had Guns for Hire sets, your lone sets.
Guns on Sunday.
Was that your favorite Decibel in a long time, or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Last year was also great for me because I had Adaro at the main on Saturday with a very good time slot when it became dark. I really like that when it goes from light to dark. But this year with Guns was like, amazing. The amount of feedback and DMs we got was really like, whoa. And that's what we hoped, you know. Yeah. And it's cool to see that come true.
Yeah, this I remember walking towards that set. That was just action packed. You had the whole dance floor moving, everyone.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
epic.
It's awesome to see that you've like even with Randy as well, yourself and the Guns for Hire act. It's awesome to see you guys have done so much, like moved with the times as well. You see a lot of like artists, like they get stuck in their way sometimes, and they're too naive to change. But you guys are very adaptive.
We are realistic in that, and then our broad taste really is handy, you know, because Randy is also open-minded and has a broad taste, so we can adapt to what's happening and do still what we like. But we talked about it. For example, we made some tracks as Guns that afterwards we say now, you say too naive to change. Maybe at that time we were too naive to call it Guns for Hire, but people were commenting like, hey, this is not Guns for Hire. And we were like, oh, it's Guns for Hire. But afterwards I think they are right, and we should have done it as Randy and Adaro. And the Guns is now only the hard shit. You know? So that's what we decided, and you learn from those things, huh?
Yeah, 100%. And now the battles on the block, like it's really working out really well. Like you know what to expect now when you go to battles on the block live.
And it's not like we don't do melodies, huh? We can do the combination.
Yeah. Even I remember last year I saw.
But for example, the Queen bootleg remix from Bohemian Rhapsody, Thunderbolts of Lightning, that's a Randy and Adaro track. That would not be Guns for Hire.
Yeah. Something more melodic is like you two separately. Yeah. It works well. Yeah. So do you have? Am I okay? Sorry, I love questioning. So what's it like with Randy growing up with someone? Like, were you two friends before you met as artists, or?
No. We funny story. We live like 2 villages next to each other.
Yeah.
And in my village was a club called at that time I think Highlight. And I was like once a month they did a hardstyle night, and I was the resident DJ, and they booked guys like headhunters, noise controllers, and I had to play before and after. And the boss of the club, he said to me, "Hey, a talent was before Randy had Living for the Moment and everything, so he was coming up. He also wants to play. Can you check him out if he can play?"
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's cool. And Randy came and he made an intro and he started scratching and everything, you know. So I said, yeah, the guy can play, you know, super cool. And we started talking, and you also have a studio and everything, you know. We live next to each other. And I think, week after that, we were making the first tracks together.
Wow.
And then we became friends.
Yeah. So how old were you at this stage when you first met him?
That was, I think, around 2007, 2008, so 27, 28, something.
Nice. That's really, really cool, man. Like, just knowing how you guys met, and it's been a very long time, man. Like, we're talking 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it goes fast.
Yeah,
16
man.
years now.
So 16 years later, you're still rocking the main stages together, and even still growing together.
Yeah,
so
we don't want to stop.
Yeah.
No, it's good to see, because it's to think that some of these, like I used to listen to Titan, like I said, like yourself, E-Force and stuff. It's scary to think that, like me, I'm still a bit younger. So then all these artists that I love, as soon as Titan retired, I was so upset, you know. It's hard to think that a lot of these artists that have been doing it like yourself for many years, and you're still doing it now. It's like, when is that day coming? Does that ever scare you, that thought that this day comes
No,
sooner?
because it will not happen for me. I will go till I die.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. I'm about to cry because I'm so happy. That's a good thing.
You know, if my health is okay, I will be playing. And also, I have these talks with colleagues, you know, and there are guys who say like, hey, if my... they only want to play, some guys only want to play on high level, you know?
Yeah.
And I respect that, but I'm not like that. Also, when I play for 5 people, it's also fine for me. You know? I don't give a fuck.
Fuck.
That's crazy.
This is the best.
The modesty is just really, really inspiring, man. Like, just someone that is already on your level that says stuff like that. Like a lot of people should be looking up for that.
Yeah,
man.
but I started with 5 people.
Yeah.
So I still remember that. And every time, and for example, with the Corona time, that time was back. There were no gigs, and we played in gardens and living rooms again. So there was for 10 people, 20 people, you know, and I liked it. So yeah, it's always a challenge how many people there are to get them dancing.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like if you have 10 or 20 people in the room and you can get all of them dancing for an hour, that's a huge
That's
achievement.
sometimes more satisfying than a whole crowd.
Yeah, like imagine playing imagine you're playing for 20,000 people, but you can't see any of them.
Yeah.
I'd rather just take 20 people to
Man,
be
when
honest.
I was young, I was at the birthday next to the hi-fi tower, controlling the volume knob. You know, I was born to spread music. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, honestly, yeah, like, yeah. It's good. No, watching everything and like over the past, I think even over Decibel has just been an awesome time. But like to see how you are as a
How did you guys experience it? You know, Dutch party. Was it your first Dutch party? Yeah?
No, so this is my 7th time in the Netherlands. It's his 2nd time here.
Yeah.
He only went Defqon and Dominator last year.
But if you compare the Australian parties to the Dutch,
There's no comparison.
come on,
trust
man,
me.
you know that.
But if
hey, knock out that in that stadium, serious shit.
Yeah,
Eh?
for
We don't have that stadium party.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure. Like
But-
I understand that. You guys see it as like some. Like we see things differently, right? We see that you guys have so many festivals here. That's huge for us. But you guys, the way you see it, it's like, oh, you have one really big stage that we don't have here, which is something really big for us. And that's why we're grateful, because also in Australia, we get some acts that you guys don't get here. Like, for example, Showtech.
Yeah.
Like, we got them twice, and then in the Netherlands, you only had them for one track at Defqon 2017.
They're coming
I think.
now to Climax.
And then now
they
we
just
just saw
got
them
announced.
today at
Yeah.
Climax. I was like, oh, okay, we're not special anymore.
But I'm really. It's a convincement for me to go that they play there. You know.
Yeah.
It's like I was
So,
like,
so
whoa,
I'm
this
guessing,
is super cool.
I'm guessing you're going to be at Climax then, Neil?
Big chance.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see Showtech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Showtech's fun. I haven't seen.
I just hope they actually play a full set.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. It was a surprise for me also, and I'm curious what they will do. Will they do old school? Will they have new hardstyle stuff? You know, I've been a fan from their hardstyle stuff, but also from their EDM stuff. So.
Yeah, the house stuff that they've
Yeah.
come up with
Yeah,
recently.
like they had some really big hits like Booyah and like all these.
Yeah.
They've just been consistent, even like throughout hardstyle and their EDM stuff. They've always just produced good music in their respective, like whatever.
Yeah,
it
for
was.
Sure. But back to your question, yes, Decibel was to me one of the best festivals I've been to. There was so many things in there that I really enjoyed, like the sound system, the
Hard, hard.
Man,
It's
the
very,
sound.
very
That's
good, man.
Decibel.
Decibel, like
sound.
like when they say it's the loudest city on earth, they're not lying. It is
Yeah.
actually pretty loud. Every single stage too. Like it's not like there's no inconsistency with sound. Every stage that has like really good sound.
Yeah.
To the point where like sometimes you're standing at one stage and you can hear 2 stages at the same time. Like oh shit, like
Yeah.
that's how loud it is.
Yeah.
You walk past the up-tempo stage, walking back home to the cabins, and we're like, wherever you stand, it sounds loud.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the Decibel for me is easily like I went
definitely.
Defqon
Like this
last
one was
year.
very special for me.
Yeah, Defqon last year was awesome. I think everyone whoever has an orange heart has to go to Defqon. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing.
True.
But Decibel, that's next level. And that I think so far that's my favorite weekend, like a 3-day party festival. But Dominator for me was, I think, outright the favorite because I'm a big hardcore head as well. So I think Dominator is still my favorite festival, but Decibel's my favorite like 3-day if I had to split them up. But
Cool.
for me it was awesome, and I think that's like the reason why I think Dutch people think that Knockout is amazing is because it's that one day. But I think if it was that many split across 2 days in Australia, like,
Maybe in the future. Huh?
yeah, hopefully one day would be nice.
Yeah, that would be sick. Like having 2-day festivals where we can squeeze in more artists. Like each day has the different lineup. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Like maybe
then,
one day.
then you also have to start a camping, eh?
Yeah.
I don't think
we used to have camping.
We used to have Defqon camping, but someone passed away in the camping, and like that's when like they pushed it down to 1 day, and then now there's no more Defqon there. So
Yeah, but we're lucky to have some events now. So
plus,
still
honestly,
grateful.
the location of that party, like I don't think you actually need to camp, because there's a lot of people that come to the party that are really local, and you'd rather just stay in a hotel anyways, man. Like the travel is not far. So that venue is from my house. It's actually 25 minutes.
Yeah,
Roughly 25, 30 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a cool drive. It's in the Olympic Park, so it's not that far. Yeah.
And speaking of Defqon, this year, this was a really big Defqon for you.
Yeah, it was an honor, you know, together with my friends Randy Bfront as the legends. Yeah, we had to keep it secret.
Yeah.
And but yeah, the reactions were amazing. It's, you know, when you are legends, you have to select your biggest tracks, and I think we made a nice set there.
Yeah, I was lucky. I didn't watch it in person, but I got to witness it, you know, over the live stream. But how does it feel to be recognized as a legend?
Yeah, super cool, you know. Like I said, an honor, you know. You don't call yourself a legend, but somebody else says it, and it's nice to what I always hope is to contribute to the hardstyle scene, and this is some recognition that you made some tracks that stand the test of time, you know.
Yeah, still to this day. We're gonna name this episode "Open the Gates." So, because
Man, what a track!
Oh man, do you ever like, you love your classics? You said you're going to a classics party as well. Do you wish there was more classics or more classics parties, or do you think there's?
I
just
think
enough
there's
balance?
now a lot coming up. You know, the change of the raw hardstyle scene that's becoming harder and harder gets as a side effect that the raw classics are coming up. You know, a lot of people don't like the new stuff, but are hoping for old times to return, and they can go to those classics parties.
Yeah.
It's like they created a market for it now.
Yeah, it's you see it through the years in every scene, when everybody has their time. I think when they go out from 16 till 21, that's most of the people their time, you know, and that's when the memories get made, and that music will stay for you for the rest of your life. So when you are 25 to 30, you want to go back to that time most of the time, and you want to hear music from that period. So we see it happening through the years, and now it's time for the first raw stuff to get played again.
Yeah, I know. Raw being called classics now is crazy.
That's for me also like. Man, already so long ago, you know. I remember getting this track sent or something. You know?
Yeah. Because like it's funny to think that before everything was on vinyl and stuff like that, but raw coming up, you could have sent it over email.
I think I had maybe one release on vinyl, and the rest was already digital. With hardstyle.
So we'll talk about some of your new releases. Where's Your Head At? So that's with Deviate and Catalyze. Yeah. So obviously we saw like a big style shift, which is obviously the Zard kick. So what do you think of Zard kicks, and how much have that influenced some of your new music?
I think you know, there's a lot of criticism, especially from my earlier generation, on those type of kicks, but I like it, and I play it, and not every track. And I produce it, not every track, but you know, sometimes. And it's like I said, I like variety, and a good Zard kick, if it's produced in the right way and it's a cool context in the track, then I like it, you know. And you know, I play your Zard kick tracks too.
Yeah.
And I can understand the criticism on it, and I can also understand when people were complaining about the peep kicks and everything. If you hear it on your phone, you know, it sounds like noise.
Yeah.
But if you experience it live, I remember hearing the first time live a Zaagkick, and I was in front. It was, I think, at Capitol or something. And I was in front of the speaker, and I felt it, and I was really impressed since a long time. Like, what the fuck was that? And that was a Zaagkick. So I know that it lacks punch and everything, you know, but live it goes through your body, you know. And I like that.
Yeah, it's a kick that it causes a bit of a controversy.
Yeah, a bit of controversy.
I'm a fan. I personally, I'm a big fan.
But
of
if
it.
it's every track, then it's boring to me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have impact anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
It loses that shock factor in the middle of a set. Yeah, definitely.
That's also a little bit of my criticism to the raw scene of today. That it's when I experience some sets, I'm not gonna name names, but if you have every track fake drop, every track those same kicks, and used to have a shock effect, but every track, then the total shock effect gets lost.
It's like dopamine levels. You need it to reset.
You know, and for me, when I am as a visitor experiencing that set, it bores me after a certain while. But I can also, you know, I have, of course, a lot of baggage years from partying and hearing a lot of different styles and trends and everything. So, but I can understand if you are now 15, 16 and these are your first parties, it will not bore you. I can also understand that. A kid who is going first party, everything is new. Oh, I just want to party. You know? I can understand that mentality.
Yeah,
100%, and I agree with what you're saying. It's like right now we're in a bit of like an awkward situation. I feel like it's like tracks are like now needs a minimum of 4 kicks, and then the attention span for people is not the best, and TikTok is ruining everything, and so we need to keep up with that. How do you stay like balanced? Like you still keep your style, and you also need to please the new people too. Because at the end of the day, think about it this way, right? All the young people that are like now coming in the scene are literally, if you capture them now, they're gonna be your classics in like 6 years.
Yeah.
So that's I think I can understand from both ways.
Yeah, me too.
But also being versatile is the best thing you can ever be. So yeah, you can pick a style and stick to it. That's cool. But also you can do different styles.
Yeah.
So like for me right now, the biggest thing is like tapping into everything and making anything I like literally anything. If I like a trancey track that like has a nice melody, I can build a track around that. I don't care.
Yeah, and you can hear, I think, in your tracks that you are not from Holland.
Yeah.
And that's positive because
that's good.
You are more open-minded in your creativity with techno stuff. All the shit that I hear in it, you can hear like, hey, he's from a different dance culture.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Which is good.
Yeah, we're very.
It makes it fresh for Dutch people.
Yeah, because I like to influence my music by what I listen to outside of hardstyle.
Yeah.
Because if you keep listening to hardstyle, it's gonna be hard for you to be creative because you're gonna be subconsciously copying everything you're listening to.
Yeah. You pick and paste. Yeah. Like if you keep picking from hardstyle.
By now, I've been indulging in so much hard techno, like tech trance techno, a lot of like drum and bass. Some just vibey stuff, like just chill stuff,
jungle music.
And I think, of course, because it's also the remix from Pat B, Jump Guy, I think the Heroin track was the first track because I feel like a little bit of a jump revival thingy going on.
Yeah.
With these small plucky sounds for melodies,
that's right.
you know? And I think Heroin was the first one doing that. Yeah, also because it's the Pat B, the jump thing. So that was also, again, fresh. Like 10 years ago, it would not be fresh. Yeah. But now it's fresh again, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think everything just gets recycled after a little while. Yeah. But in a good way where, like, it needs this reset, sort of.
And now I just made an official remix for Trommels too now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'll show it to you later. But yeah,
I think
It's,
I got a DM from Hans Glock.
Yeah.
He heard that I played the original trommels. And
Yeah.
he said he already sent the TOZA remix.
Oh, he already gave it to you.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
sick.
didn't have the chance to listen.
Yeah,
to it,
no, that's
but,
sick. That's sick. But yeah, man, he's one of the best guys I've ever met.
Trommels.
Cool guy.
Because remember when you sent me a video of him playing the original Heroin?
Yeah.
And you're like to me, oh, I like the famous like techno. I think it was
No, it was
DK Bop. I think.
yeah, that there's new
Yeah.
techno meme techno guys.
Yeah, the Visa Aspect and
Yeah.
DK Bop.
I was at a gig from him.
Yeah.
And he played it.
Yeah, and then he's mates with Hans Glock, so
Yeah.
everything just went
Full circle.
full circle, and then came back to me, and Hans was like talking to me like, oh, like this is sick, whatever. Do you want to make a remix of this? I'm like, fuck yeah.
I'm
100%.
curious. I'm curious what
Yeah.
it's like. I like the
Nah,
original
I'll-
trommels too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The original, look, I couldn't really touch much of it because I think the original track was already perfect and it's already really fresh too. So
Yeah.
there's not much to change.
Yeah.
So we pretty much, it was just like a kick at it.
Cool.
But
Oh yeah, that was,
it's-
that was
it's-
Dr. Rude and all that.
Yeah,
That was- yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
really, really cool, man. Just to, like, I've always heard of Ruthless, always heard of like Dr. Rude for
Yeah.
a very long time, like years, and then now just being on a track with them, to just
Nice,
sick.
man.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It's actually funny when you think about it. Like they weren't big names, especially in Australia. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
Dr. Rude has played at Massive, Ruthless played at Massive, like
Yeah,
all
but
these
now
names,
these
Dr. Funk,
generations and stuff like the newer generation. I'm telling you now, if you went to Massive or Australia and you said that name,
No
I think
one will
maybe
know.
one in about 100 might know.
Yeah, but in Holland they are like the legends of the freestyle
That's
genre.
right.
Yeah.
And they are really big here.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you said
100%.
freestyle in Australia, people would think
People
you start
would-
rapping
yeah,
or something.
100%. Like, I feel like before, like maybe 2016, 2017, people knew what freestyle is. We actually had like freestyle artists coming through. But unfortunately now, like if you were to go and mention freestyle and like the current scene in Sydney, I don't think many people will know.
Yeah, people would be.
And we got it's the history with I think Pussy Lounge here. Eh?
Yeah.
Big history.
That's a cool
Yeah,
concept.
so
that was,
experiencing Pussy Lounge for the first time at Decibel was really, really sick. Like you see everyone at the show, they provide the demographic of the people at the stage too.
Yeah.
They're more older people that really enjoy the music still, which it's really sick. And also like the sets are very versatile.
Yeah.
Like you can have like up tempo playing out of nowhere, or like you can have like a Zag kick comes out of nowhere, or like you got like just vibey jump style like music from before out of like, you know, it's just very mixed genres.
Yeah,
in
it's
one set.
just it's. I think the essence is that it has some sexiness in there.
Yeah.
you know, with the girls and the Pussy Lounge name.
Yeah.
And it was. I think it. I don't know 100% sure, but I think it was Dark Raver's concept in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I went to small clubs having a Pussy Lounge night and everything, and that was pure old school. Little bit of house still, and there was always the girls dancing, you know, and now it's just I think freestyle in the broader sense, you know, it can be from old school to, like you say, up tempo.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Pussy Lounge always has that like fun party. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
craziness.
it's just
whatever
crazy.
happens.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, whatever happens. Like, if I want to play up tempo in the middle of a set, I will. Just everyone go crazy, have
Yeah.
fun, and enjoy yourself while you're
And
there.
you
Who cares?
see them evolving in what they do in lineups, you know.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's always changed. Maybe a TOZA back-to-back Adaro on a Pussy
why not?
Lounge one day.
Why not?
One day,
would be
man.
good.
For sure.
One thing. Oh, you go.
Yeah, go.
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, you go.
There's the paperwork.
All right, amigo. Okay. All right. So one thing I always ask a lot of artists, like going through, like when you started doing music and where you are now, did you know at certain points you were there for the start of Raw, the change of Raw? Did you know you were going through these things and being that change to that music style?
I don't consider myself as the first wave, but as the second.
Yeah.
Shortly after the first, I think the first really are like Cripsis, Zani, B-Front, Randy also, and after that came me and the other guys. And for me personally, I you know, like I said, I started listening in my youth to hardcore, and hardcore at a certain level also became slower in tempo, and I really liked that. It was called new style at that time. It was like '98, and when the hardstyle came, it was all reverse bass, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I liked it, but it was not. Didn't have the same feeling as the hardcore shit that I liked. And then when the show tech became a little bit harder, Zani, the fusion stuff, and then the darkness came in a little bit, you know, that's when I really thought like, hey, this is exactly what I like.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, I played in that resident club, and yeah, also started making that, and that's how it all went.
Yeah, yeah. So before you started, like you said, it would have been all your like Deepak, your Crypsis, and all that dark stuff. Did you know, like, that's the sound? How was it to start your own sound from that? Like, did you know screeches, leads, synths?
Yeah, it went. My career went like this. We had that trance track with the three of us, and we had all three different tasks. And my task was melodies, ideas, and everything. Other guy did the technique. It was all hardware at that time. And the other guy did the beats. And we had 2-3 trance tracks, some remixes, and then it fell apart due to some inner conflicts. Now we are good together again, but at that time not, so it fell apart. And at that time I thought like, hey, I can make melodies, know a little basics about equipment. I had my equipment, but I was never a technical guy.
Yeah.
Because I fully focused on what I could do best, melodies and that. And at that time I thought like, I want to never be dependent again, you know, because it fell apart, the driftwood period. And it was like, we have gold in our hands and it's gone.
Yeah.
So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to take some steps back and learn the technique. And then I really closed myself in the studio for some years and learned all the equipment, manuals, synthesizers, synthesis, learned everything. And yeah, exactly when I was like, the time was right again and I could do it, then yeah, the hardstyle career went. So
good timing.
yeah, that was how it went. And your question was exactly the...
So with how was your, like, when you were starting, the style? How did you know that style? And was it from...
Yeah, that was exactly what I liked at that point. Like, hey, this is what I feel the same as the hardcore from my youth. You know, the same feeling. And yeah, it was... And I remember making the Hunter of the Dark, for example. I made it when I hardly had any gigs and I didn't think about the dance floor in mind. I just want to make what I like and no concessions on it has to work on the dance floor or anything. So that's why the track came out that way, you know. I know that when I started getting more bookings, you're also going to produce different because you know what's happening on the dance floor. And Hunter of the Dark is my famous track till so far, and it's considered a raw classic, but never when I played it, the people went totally crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
It was never a commercial hit, but it's still really appreciated in all the lists and when voting and everything. But still, and it is because I made it like, pure from the heart and not like it has to dance.
So
it's
sometimes like I understand right now there's a big stigma about making people move on the dance floor, but there's some ways that music can like touch a person in a very different way. It could be like a melody or something that really, really touches your heart in a way like doesn't always necessarily have to be party music, you know what I mean?
I also release tracks that I hardly play in my sets.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to make it. I love making it, but I know when I play it, it will not work.
Yeah, it's understandable, man. Like an artist should always know that not every track's going to be a hit.
No, but you want to make what you like.
100%, and you want to be versatile. So that's why I always tell, like a lot of people around me, like they always think, oh, like oh, this track has to be like this, has to be like this, has to have that effect. But where is the fun in making music anymore? Like, why don't you just make the song because you genuinely want to make that song and then release it? Whatever it gets, it gets.
Yeah.
Because everyone always thinks about, like, music has to be perfect. I have to reach this certain crowd. I have to play these gigs. I have to do this. I have to do
but
that.
that's also because it became more competitive through the years. And when I started with, it was more the one scene feeling and all for one and one for all. You know, that was, and that's different now. It's more little islands. You know, and that's something that I really liked in the past, you know, that was like one group doing it for the scene.
Yeah.
And it became less. And it's all focused now on, like you said, it has to work on the dance floor, it has to work on Spotify and everything, you know. Those things have big influences on how music is produced, you know, and not always for the good.
Yeah.
But if you for example, I think in the past the dancing parts were way longer. You know, even before my time it was really long. You know, you had tracks from 9 minutes and dancing non-stop, and that was the thing then. Now it's about the short climax, the TikTok effect. You know, where people have short attention and they want to feel that rush, and after 10 seconds they stop dancing and they wait for the next build-up, and you know how it goes.
Yeah.
You can say, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to make long dance parts. But if you do that, you will not get played. When you will not get played, your bookings will go. You know, you put yourself out of the picture. So you can do that, but doesn't have any good effect, I think.
But what I was saying is, like, the fact that you still release songs that you don't really play. That's what I meant, really. Like, sometimes you can have filler tracks.
Yeah,
that's my whole point of what I said before. Like, you can't just say, oh, like don't scrap a project just because you think it's not good. The track could be good. Yeah, it might not work on the dance floor, but the track could be good for, like, Spotify listens.
Yeah.
So maybe people will stream it.
Yeah.
Granted that other artists and yourself are not playing it and it's not working on the dance floor, but someone at home is vibing for it.
Yeah.
And that still brings something for you. So it doesn't always have to be like a dance floor banger. It could be like just a driving track, you know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
Or it could be a gym track, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's what I think. Like, a lot of people get stuck into the fact that, everything has to be a dance floor hit.
Yeah, but you know, the pressure is high for people.
It is,
You are now, a lot of these guys, young guys especially, they all feel like we have to deliver every 3-4 weeks a new track. And it has to, you get judged on your last release. You know? That's what everybody feels, and a lot of pressure is on it. Like the popularity years ago, you had a longer time of being popular. Now it's going really fast. Someone can blow up in a few weeks and can go down also fast. You know? So times really have changed with social media.
For sure.
It's too quick. I feel like it's just, if your track lasts longer than like a month on the
the charts,
then like you're like
popping. You're popping.
Other than that, other than that, I feel like as if your track isn't being released or being played at, or like, you just get left behind pretty quickly these days.
But it doesn't give you a reason to stop. You just keep going anyways, because you will get to that one track that will make you pop. You know what I mean? It's inevitable. Like, it's just, the thing is, like, people just need to understand that. Keep working. Don't give up just because when something doesn't work out, that means it's either you're not doing the right thing, or you just need to hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, and careers go with ups and downs.
100%. Yeah.
And
100%.
and every time when I have like a career down, I get the fighting spirit to go up again. Yeah. You know,
and that's what makes you stand out, because a lot of people would just give up and hang the headphones.
I will never give up.
Yeah, that's really good.
Please don't. It's been
honestly
awesome so far.
It's been a pleasure, man. Like, you know, having you on our podcast and just listening to like more deeper of like what Adaro is really made of and how hungry he is, and it's really special.
It's
for
cool
us.
to see after all these years. Like I said, I grew up listening to your music, and still now you're releasing music.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome to see you haven't lost passion for it as much as
Never.
Yeah.
Music is my life.
Yeah,
And
that's good to see.
you know, I will always keep producing, always keep playing. You never know what will happen with your popularity. You know, you don't have, you cannot influence everything.
Yeah.
You know, so, but like I said, I will play till I die. I will produce as long as my ears work.
Yeah, that's right.
I was gonna. Can we talk about that? Is that okay if we talk about that a little bit? Because I'm big about this situation. You've had problems with your ears, and at one point I think you almost quit because of.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. I think 9 years ago. It was like it's called hyperacusis. It's when you you have tinnitus. That's the ringing in your ear.
Yeah.
And hyperacusis is when every sound is like somebody sticks a knife in your ear.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
it's a
small
pain.
sound. This can hurt you.
Yeah,
you
it's a
know?
pain.
And it's like I got it suddenly, and it was with the guy from the office here, Prophet. I was making a collab with him at my place, and he was at my place when suddenly we were going to eat with my father in our house, and they were with the how do you call it, the cutlery on the plates. And I was like, dang, dang, dang. I was like getting hit to the head constantly. I was like, what the fuck, you make so much noise? Quiet. And they were like, huh? We're eating normally, you know? And I'm like, I'm going crazy. And I ran away with my hands on my ears. And I said, go home, Dov. I cannot stand this. And I really, it was the start of a really hard half a year for me. I thought my career, I always said goodbye to my career, you know.
I think you said you were going to stop performing for a while.
I stopped performing after 2 weeks, I think. I Googled for the best headphones, the best earplugs, everything, but it's still... you know, I after I did a gig, I was in a car, and also the ringing problem, the tinnitus started like, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I said, I called my agency. This last one.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. You know, my passion was gone. I'm always a happy person, and at that time I was. I could say depressed of that.
Yeah.
I was just laying on my bed all day because I couldn't talk with people. I couldn't listen to the radio, couldn't listen to the TV. Everything hurted.
Yeah.
And still looking for a solution. You know, what is the problem? And I remember, it's going to be quite a long talk. Eh?
No. Keep going. I'm
really interested.
Because I know
this raises awareness for other people too.
Yeah, and I already, my experience helped some other people, you know. I get a lot of questions because somewhere on Google there is like Adaro survived tinnitus hyperacusis. So I get a lot of DMs and I help those people. And, you know, if it can be of different causes why you get it. But if it's like the same cause of me, some people got help through my advice, and they've also fixed it, you know. So it can help. And where did I? I started Googling, you know, what happened, and I remember a couple of weeks before that, I did dry needling in my shoulders because of the boxing. My shoulders were stuck, tense, and did dry needling is like. Pushing a needle into the muscle,
acupuncture.
Blood can flow. Not acupuncture.
Dry needling.
Dry needling. Acupuncture is like with energy things, and this is pure scientifically. You have a muscle, you have a knot in there. You push a needle in there, the knot goes, and the blood can flow through the muscle, so the pain can go. And the things that cause the knot go into your blood, and you piss it out. You know, that's how it works. And I remember doing that some weeks before that I got the problem. So I was really with my zero knowledge of scientific shit, just thinking like, hey, maybe my blockage, how do you call it? You know, went up to the muscles here.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy who did the therapy in my shoulders, I said, is that a theory that can happen, you know? And he said, never heard of it, but I know a woman who does the same thing with the needles, not in the shoulders, but in the head area. It's a different approach.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went to her. She saved my life.
Far. So your theory was exactly right. It was up through here. You
The whole tension went to here, and if I pushed here, it was like if you push on a blue spot. How do you call it?
Like a bruise, yeah. Bruise, yeah.
It was completely like that, and it also. She said, like, do you clench your teeth at night? Yeah. And she measured how far I could open my mouth, and it's like it's completely tensed here. And she started doing that with the needle. And then my problems went away.
Wow.
After one session already.
So do you still go often? Because I have tinnitus as well.
I do now like a yearly
check-up, sort of, yeah. Because I have tinnitus as well. And stupid me, when I was little, always used to run towards the speakers. And
but that's something that I didn't do. So I knew, and I also did a hearing test. My hearing was perfect. Yeah. So the strange thing was, you know, that's what you do when you get hearing problems. You go with a hearing test.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the hearing of a little kid.
Maybe because our speakers in Australia, the sound system isn't as good.
The thing was, I was always, you know, whole my career depended on my ears. So your ears are your main thing. So you made it too important. When I went to a birthday party at someone's home, I did earplugs. When I went where it was already a little noise, earplugs, because my ears have to be perfect. I have to produce mix, you know. And when you do that too much, your threshold of what you can handle with the brain and your ears, the connection will fuck it up. You know, your brain will slowly think that harmless sounds are too loud. You know, so don't be too careful with your ears. Only use earplugs when it's really dangerous with volume. You know?
Don't use it every day. Normal. Okay.
So it was like the combination of that, and that's also a mental thing. And the muscles with the dry needling, and then when all the jaws, because for example, you say you have your ringing, when you do this, is the ringing going harder? Yeah. So your jaws can also cause ringing and these things. But like I said, there are different causes. Some people really have a sound trauma, or like too much noise in the past, or in the military, a gunshot near your ears. You know.
I work construction a lot, so I'm always on job sites. So that for me, I wear as much protection as possible when I can.
But I really know guys who had tinnitus and went to a dry needling therapist for this area, and it helped.
Shit, I'll definitely check it out. I'll look into it.
Well, thank you for sharing this information, because like it's very. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this will.
If one person can help from it, it's already.
That's one more than before. But I just wanted to really touch on that, because I remember hearing that a long time ago.
The only thing is, you know, it's been gone for 9 years already, and I still have sometimes DMs like, hey, is your hearing already better? And I'm like, man, already 9 years I released so much music, and you're still thinking that I have this problem. So, but you know,
people care about you. It's good.
But it's not. It's understand a little bit that it's frustrating that you're already working day and night and for 9 years. And
just for someone to ask you if you're all right now.
Especially after you said, like, have been back and said I'm not.
But his social media is very active. Like, can you not see what's happening?
But I also understand that not everybody is a dedicated follower.
For sure.
I've been a big advocate for just, you know, sound and like hearing and stuff like that. So that's why one thing, especially with someone like yourself, you know. So
I want to. I'm in it like this. I want to help people with hearing issues, but for example, how do you call it? Good cause. Ask me, can you be an ambassador or something? And I said, no, sorry, because I don't want to have that stamp on me. as
Yeah,
only
yeah.
the guy with
Sure.
the hearing.
Because someone could have it worse than you, and then
100%. But at the end of the day, you're not a doctor. You're just sharing your own experience.
Yeah.
And someone can misinterpret
Yeah.
it in the wrong way. And like,
Yeah. And you don't want to have that stamp, you know.
Yeah.
I want to have the stamp of the guy who's still hungry. And,
Yeah.
That's it. Don't worry.
That's it.
After
After
what we
this,
said today,
after this, you're gonna be that guy. Right?
Yeah.
we'll see you there till the very end.
So, just out of curiosity, like, let's say Adaro was not a music producer, what would Adaro be?
I think my study, I did nothing with it. I studied economics, business shit, and I think I would have ended up in the music industry because I did my internship at a bookings agency, and I think everything, you know, if I did some economics, but I'm better when it has something to do with music.
Okay.
You know, also
Yeah.
with the label Rough State, I do a lot of stuff with the business stuff there.
Yeah.
You know, I like it because it's about music.
Yeah. Okay. So it would be music related still. That's
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I like to look for talents.
Okay.
Talent.
Cool.
Well, I don't
It's,
know. I don't know how you got here. Maybe we should check your eyes. Would you like to ask him your favorite?
Yeah, so
question?
just before we wrap up the episode, we have the last segment we usually end the episode with which is a question of mine. So what is the most awkward situation you've ever been put in? It doesn't have to be any like hardstyle related. Could be anything. Something funny, something serious, something...
Those questions are the hardest for me. That's why I said, send me some questions. I really cannot think of anything.
Yeah.
Off the cuff.
Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all speaked out. I don't want to talk his ear off again and give him more problems. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. It means
problem.
so much. We did travel 24 hours, but 1 hour for you guys is a lot, you know, so we thank you.
100%.
Thank you guys, and good luck with the scene in Australia.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, man.
Rocket.
So just before we wrap it up, so is there any social media accounts that you would like to tell our fans to follow you on?
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all DJ Adaro, and also follow Guns for Hire.
Yeah.
The project I do together with Randy, you know, it's with the masks. So go
Bad
check
as
it out.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other upcoming projects or anything you're working on?
You know, you want to just...
I'm working on something. I did already a first timer on Wish on my own hosting. It's like I'm gonna do a live act, and I'm figuring out what to do. You know. What I know for sure is that I'm not gonna put on a mask.
okay, good.
No mask this time.
So and I have to we're making the concept now.
Okay. Awesome.
And it's
Sweet.
gonna have some musical jacket hanging with there, you know.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Can't wait to see.
Can't
more of
wait,
this.
man. Hopefully we get it in Australia too, so we don't have to come here and see it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So just before we head out, make sure you check out outputstrengthsystems.com for all your lifting needs. We're currently not wearing it anymore because we're all spaced out and starting to get cold here. It's night. Also, before you do, like, share, subscribe, comment, give us 5 stars. Anything you do helps us, helps TOZA, helps me. We love you guys. We love your support.
And just comment if you want to see anyone on the podcast from Australia. Obviously, we're not always in Europe, but when we are in Europe, we can squeeze in some episodes. So please let us know if you have anyone specific you'd like to see. And we're really appreciative of your support, and we would really like to reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help us with that, that'll be great. That's one of our goals. And yeah, we're pretty close to hitting 26 episodes, which was one of our major goals at the beginning of the year when we first started this podcast. So thank you for your support. Thank you for still listening to our shit.
All of our shit. So
very
thank
important.
you. Again, thank you, Adaro.
Thank you, Adaro.
We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.